Hello there, this is Retro Spirits GAIDEN, and this is Alien Storm on Sega's Megadrive. Stroke Genesis, if you happen to live in North America. This is the Sega logo, beautiful. And this is the title screen forming itself out of two halves to make one big ugly whole. And here we have a character select screen. You have a skull with a laser eye, laser projector eye, projecting a character into the game. And here are some people being terrorized by gremlins. So, Alien Storm is a scrolling beat 'em up. Capcom would like to call them belt action, but I like to call them scrolling beat 'em ups, where you, as Elvis Presley, take on an invading alien force using a electro gun from the 1950s, a Ghostbusters packback from the 1980s, and a red jumpsuit from the 1970s. And it's all in good order. It's a multiplayer game. You can play this as 2 players, and you have a very flexible moveset for these type of games. As you can see, I'm running and diving here multiple times. You can also flip into the air and sort of bunt people like that. You've got a rocket launcher on this character's back, so once you put an enemy down, you just press the combo button and it automatically fires a rocket launcher. And you've got the running twat, is what I like to call it, where you run along and you just wave your weapon in front of you, slapping aliens slapping them with your gun rather than shooting them with your gun, which is lovely. We have a bit of variety in here. We've got a into the screen kind of shooting section. You don't move into the screen, you kind of like scroll along the screen like now, which is in a destructible environment. Watch out for the chickens. You've got to pick up the energy to keep your gun powered up, and you can pick up energy to keep your energy bar topped up. But as you can see, it's a kind of a fun little shooting gallery. You've got a cursor there, waiting for a little dude to come out from his little hiding place. These can get more difficult later on. You get like big beasties jumping at your face. At the moment, you've got little beasties jumping at your face, and they're fairly easy to dispatch. Yeah, the graphics are quite nice. That little kid there was being chased by a gremlin. He made his escape rather quickly. And they were chewing on houses and beating up houses like they've got no sort of intelligence whatsoever. Anyway, the visuals are kind of tidy. There's some nice animation. The audio is kind of cool, although it's the same song quite a few times, but it's alright. I mean, it does change up a little bit, but yeah, a lot of people like the theme tune. Gameplay's quite satisfying, if a little difficult. It's like Golden Axe, but a little bit easier with the collision detection. Easier on you, that is. Golden Axe seems a bit waffy. But in here, you can connect with most enemies relatively easily. The graphics have got kind of a cool thing going on where it's almost like they've got like a depth of field effect through pixel art. So like the background looks miles away. It's kind of cool what they've done there visually. Don't see that a lot on pixel games. Done it quite effectively on this game, even though there's no parallel scrolling. Like, yeah. Oh, you got a special move as well, where you can fry enemies. Beautiful. And there's boss fights. Here you can see an ugly blob with multiple penises coming out of it, trying to electrocute you and spit bogies at you. And after you defeat this, you get a horizontally scrolling shooting stage. Running and shooting. And not very exciting, but it does break it up a little bit. So, this game, you can get it on compilations for the Mega Drive. On Mega Games, one of those Mega Games compilations, you can buy it as a standalone. I have the Japanese version here, and the Japanese version is between 30 and 40 English pounds at the moment, which is quite a bit of cash. What you get for your cash is you get this game, which is kind of a fun, diverting, horizontal scrolling beat 'em up, as I suggested before. And you get a nice front cover, like an airbrushed 80s style front cover. Oh, here's the scrolling shoot up stage. And you get an instruction manual which is fairly bare bones. My copy came with a advert for the 32X in Japanese, which is exciting. Other than that, bare bones. This background is poorly drawn. As an accurate arcade conversion, now it's not. I don't think this is super accurate to the arcade. I think this is one of those Mega Drive games where they just kind of went, yeah, we'll give you a kind of flavour of it, give you most of the same things, but because the arcade machine is like so much more powerful, you're not going to get an accurate, super accurate port. But I think I could have put a bit more effort in to make it a bit more like the arcade machine, like the presentation wise. I seem to remember the arcade machine, and I've only played it once. It has something to do with a hot dog van, and the levels look different. But I think the enemies are the same. So, what have I played it on? I might have played it on the Astro City once or twice, and that's where I'm remembering it from. I never played it back in the day. That's for sure. None of my local arcades had this. It says Bonanza on the front of that shop there, because I guess it's like they're advertising Bonanza Brothers at the same time as this game. I don't know, don't care. Why an alien wants to hide in the bin, I don't know, but it's incredibly amusing. Oh, they're busting out windows now. Shocking. These freaky kind of insect things with the big hands are a bit creepy. Creepy crawlies. Gonna grab you, take you up in the air, drop you on your head. Creepy is the best word to describe them. I've used it multiple times. I'll use it again. They're creepy. Help. At your convenience. There's blue versions. Oh my god. This game does have a little bit of sprite flicker in it, but it does tend to throw a shed ton of enemies at you at points. And actually, I remember playing the Mega Drive version back in the day with a friend of mine, and we had loads of fun with this game. We could clock it. I don't think it's that hard, but it is kind of amusing. I always used to pick Elvis. Mate always used to pick the robot. Elvis and the Robot. If that's not a TV show that needs to happen, I don't know what is. Oh, there's people running around in this convenience store. Shoot the pink aliens. See, they start jumping out at you, and it doesn't matter where they slash at the screen, it hurts you. It's almost like you're as wide as this screen physically in this game. The energy thing is a bit weird. I don't know why they bothered putting that in. It's not a thing that really necessarily causes you any bother. I think it's just to stop you using the special move multiple times, but they could have just given you a special move meter. Anyway. Yeah, not every level ends with like a boss fight, which is also fairly odd. Because people running away from the hotel here. Yeah, it's quite good fun. I recommend it as a game to play. I don't think I recommend it for 40 quid though. If you can get it on a different compilation or get the PAL one, and the PAL one's much cheaper, I suggest you do that. It is fun, it's just not worth 40 quid. So, even though it's got Elvis in a jumpsuit, red jumpsuit, with an electro laser gun and a rocket launcher, you're not going to get 40 quid's worth of fun out of that. Oh, hello. The guy had a crack at my kneecaps. A little fella running across the bottom of the screen there. Comedy. Yeah, Alien Storm. It's alright. Too expensive though. Okay. Ta-ra.